but I don't see any germs on my hand.
That's because they're so tiny that you can't even see them.
Oh wow! I want to wash the germs away. Will you wash your hands with me, Achille?
Of course! Wash your hands in clean water. Wash your hands, wet them with the water. Wash your hands, now add some soap. Scrub your hands in the soap and water. Scrub above and below between the fingers too. Scrub under your nails and scrub-a-dub-a-doo. Rinse your hands in water. Rinse them clean, rinse away the soap. Dry your hands and go. Great job, Haruma! Can you tell me the 4 things we did to wash our hands?
I can try.
1.
Wash our hands with water.
2.
Put soap on our hands.
3.
Scrub our hands all over.
4.
Rinse our hands clean with water.
Wash your hands, wash the germs away.
Less than 7, most likely to give it 2. Now to do that, we have to compare them, and we actually have to change them all to decimals. So let's go back to that one. Amy, 31 out of 36, 17 out of 19, and then 21 out of 102. So I changed them all to decimals. This one is 0.20588. Joules, that was then the, or Amy's first was the 31 out of 36. That one, Amy, was 0.13888. And Joules, the 17 out of the 99, is 0.1717. It's recurring. So which one is giving the most likely one? And this is Peru. This one is the highest probability there. Question 2. Jane records the number of telephone calls she receives each day for 2 weeks. So we've got 14 calls there. Calculate the mean. Now what is the mean? We have to know the difference between mean, median, and mode. The mode is the one that occurs most frequently, which you're going to see the most times there. Median means we arrange them from the smallest to the biggest one, and then you pick out the one in the middle. And the mean is always total divided by frequency. That is the mean. So let's first now look at the mean. The total means I will add all those numbers and divide them by 14 because we're talking about 2 weeks. So we divide them by 14. If I add all these numbers, I get 117. So my mean is 8.36. And you will always give a mean as a decimal. Don't just round it up. You have to give it as a decimal. The second thing that we're looking at now is the median. Now to find the median, we have to arrange this information from the smallest to the biggest. So I'm going to start there with 0, 0. I've got 2 zeros there. Then I have 2, 5, 3 sixes, 2 tens, 12, 13, 15, and 2 16s. We have 14 numbers here, so the middle, the median, will be at 7, half of 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it will now here between 7 and 8, position 7 and 8. Then we add the 2 and divide it by 2 to find the 1 in the middle. So that one's answer is 8. And the last one is the mode. We can look here. The one that occurs most frequently is the 6. So the mode is then 6. The next page. Complete the frequency table below. So now they have divided them into groups. 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19. So I have to count them now. So if we go back now to our previous page. Now let's just go to the previous page. And look there at the bottom then there. So now 0 to 4 is the first group. So I have 1, 2, 3 numbers which is in that group. So every time you have to look at your group then there to find the answer. So I've counted them and I've found that this one is 3. There's 4 numbers here, 4 numbers here, and 3 there. Eventually, this should add up again to 14. Make sure that you have that. Now we want the probability that Jane receives 10 or more calls. So this is now this 10 or more calls, which is then 7 out of 14. But we always simplify this 1 out of 2. Can you remember that button on your calculator? Use that one. 7 over 14, and that gives you a half. And then they say, estimate the number of days in the next 6 weeks that Jane can expect to receive to 10 to 14 calls. So what would be the number of days? Estimate the number of days in the next 6 weeks that she will receive 10 to 14 calls. And what will that be? We have to use the information that we have now there, and it will probably 12. It will probably be 12 calls there. Right, question 3. Now, Willie records the size of 34 pairs of shoes in a shop to sell it. Now, usually we can also make that tally table. You can tally them, or you can just count them now, how many it is. It's a good idea, if you do this, to cancel your 3s, for instance, so that you make sure you have counted them. So this one is 3. I will do the same with the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6. There's another one. So there's 6. So cancel them so that you make sure you've covered all of them. Of 5, I have 8, 7, 6, 1, 1, 2. Again, make sure that this adds up to the original 34 pairs of shoes. In that way, you can make sure that you have them all. Again, what is the mean? It is total divided by frequency. So we just add the total, but now there's 3 with a frequency of 3, 6 with a frequency of 4. So to do that, we're going to say 3 by 3 plus 6 by 4 plus 8 by 5 plus 7 by 6 plus 6 by 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 2 times 10. You have to get the total there. And then we can divide this whole number by 34, because 34 is my frequency. And if you do that sum, I got 194 divide by 34, and my final solution is then 5.71. Give it as a decimal. Do not round it off. This is how we deal with the mean. Although there is no shoe size as 5.71, mean must be very precise. The next question says the range of these sizes. That is the biggest one minus the smallest one. So the biggest shoe size is 10. The smallest one is 3. So the answer is going to be 7. 7 there. Now the mode. The mode is the one that occurs most frequently, the highest frequency. Which one will that be? This one, isn't it? Because there's 8 who's buying a 5. So the answer is the 5. That is where the highest frequency lies, but you must read it off. And then the last one is the median. Median, middle. Now, luckily, in this table, it is already ranged for you. Otherwise, we have to arrange them. There is 34 shoe sizes, so the position in the middle will be between 17 and 18. So here I have 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 8 is 17. So it means that one will be in this group here. So, and it will then be 9 plus 8 is exactly 17. Now it lies between these two. So we will have then 5 plus 6 divided by 2, and the answer is 5.5. And then we have to calculate the percentage of all the pairs of shoes that are a 7. Now how many shoes are a 7? There's 6. So it will be 6 out of 34. And now remember what we said. To find the percentage, you always times with 100 over 1. To find that percentage, we multiply. And it is then 17.6%. 17.6%. The next one, Naomi orders 306 pairs of shoes to sell in her shop. Estimate how many of these pairs of shoes should be a 7. So, how many 7s are there? 6. The total was 34, and now she's buying 306 pairs of shoes. So this is how we will do this one. On your calculator, 6 times 306 divide by 34, and I have 54 pairs of number 7s. Right, the next one. Finley draws a bar chart to show how many pairs of shoes he has sold in his shop in 1 week. Now, I think this is not very clear. You can perhaps not just see them precisely. Let's just see. Here's one. There's one. There. It is a bar chart that we have here. There. And the last one is here. So there are my bars then there that I can read off. So the first one says, use the information in the bar chart to complete the table. So we have to complete the table now. Now, if we look here at shoe size 3 and 4, we just read it off. First, you must find the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, which means each block represents 1 pair of shoes. So we can just read it off then. This one is 5, that one is 7, So together it will be 12. Now we look at 5 and 6. So 5 is 11 and 6 reads off at 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 plus 11, and that gives me 25. Then 7 and 8. 7 reads off at 13 and 8 reads off at 6. So 13 plus 6 is 19. And then the last one, 9 and 10, and this is only 2. Which is the modal clause? Now they talk about modal clause when we work with group data. So this is a group, 3 to 4. This is the group that you have here. And this is the group 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10. Now, the modal clause is like the mode. It's the same as the mode. Which one is the mode? The one with the highest frequency, which is this one. So it will be 5 to 6. That group will give you the modal value. The next bar chart shows the results of a test taken by 20 students. How many students scored a 7? Again, I just need to read it off. There's the 7. We can see that it is 3. 3. Right, the next one. Use the bar chart to complete the frequency table. So again, I will just read it off. What each one will be. So let's go to this one. So from that table, so 5 is 4, 2, 3, 5, and 6. That's very easy. You just read it off. Now again, they want the mode. The mode is the one with the highest frequency. What will it be in this case? Here, this is the highest frequency. So the mode is 9. You read it off. Find the median. Median, middle. I must arrange them. But in the table, this is arranged. Now, if I have a total of 20 students, this is what I said in the beginning, it means the middle will be between 10 and 11. So this is 6, and 3 is 9, and 5 is 15. So that means 10 and 11 will be in this group. So the answer is then 8. That group there. It is then 8. Right, the next one. Work out the mean. Again, what is mean? Total divide by frequency. Total divide by frequency. Okay, so let's continue then. The mean is then total divide by frequency. So this is what we did in the previous exercise also. It will then be 4 times 5 plus 2 times 6 plus 3 times 7 plus 5 times 8 plus 6 times 9. You can't just add them, you have to multiply them, and then we divide them by the total of the frequency, which was in this case 20, originally 20. And the answer is then 7.35. 7.35. Number B, a student is chosen at random. What is the probability? What is the probability? What is the probability that he scored 5 marks? So if we look in our table now, then there was 4 who scored 5 marks, and the total is 20, 4 out of 20, which is 1 out of 5. Simplify your probability. Don't give it like that. We have to simplify it. And the last one says now less than 8 marks. Now this is 8 or more, so less than 8 is then 3 plus 2 plus 4, and that is then 9 out of 20. 9 out of 20. Right, the next one, Vino. Vino is asked to pick an integer from 1 to 20 inclusive. It means the 1 and the 20 is included. Find the probability that it picks a multiple of 5. So what are the multiples of 5 here? 5, 10, 15, and 20. So how many do we have now there? 4 out of 20, which simplifies to 1 out of 5. Use that button on your calculator to simplify it. Then negative numbers. Are there any negative numbers there? No. So this is impossible. So it is a 0. It's not going to happen. And then a number which is not a cube number. So first we need to find cube numbers. Now what is cube numbers? It's 1 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3. And which numbers are now here? 1 and 8. This one is 27, so it's out of the range. So there are then 2, which are cube numbers. But they say not a cube number. So that will then be 18 out of 20, which is 9 out of 10. It simplifies to 9 out of 10. Question 6. A teacher did a survey to find out how many meals each of her 108 students have eaten the previous day. There's the total. The results are shown in the frequency table, so they gave you the information there. Again, what is the mode? The mode is the one with the highest frequency, which will be this. So your answer is 4. Read it off. Then median, middle. A range, middle. If there's 108 students, it means position number 54 is in the middle there. So between 54 and 55. So we have to find it. The table is arranged. So this is 15 plus 40, which is 55. And we said it should be in that group. So we will read it off here as 3. And then the last one, the mean. So 2 times 1 plus 13 times 2 plus 40 times 3 plus 45 times 4 plus 8 times 5. I must multiply them, and I divide them by the total of 108, which was the original total amount. And total divide by frequency, this totals to 368. Divide by the 108, and the number of meals is 3.41. Again, do not round it off. It's not 3 meals. Mean must be as a decimal. You give it as a decimal. Question 5. Question 7, page 5. A teacher recorded the number of full teaspoons of sugar, and there's my total again, 36 learners using their tea or coffee. There's the results. Now here we have an example of a tally table, where we can use a tally table. So that means I have a 1, and another 1, and another 1, and another 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you take the 5th one, you do it like that. We call it the gate method. Then there's another 1, and another 1. So what is the total frequency here? 5 plus 2 is 7. So this is, we can tally then all of them. Let's take another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. So that is the tally method. Cancel them so that you know you've covered all of them. So here I got a 9 and there I got a 12. Make sure that it totals up to 36 because then you know you are correct then there. And now we have to calculate the pie chart angle. So how do we do that now? So this one will then be 7 out of 36. And what do we know about a pie chart? We know that there right at the center, the angles should add up to 360 degrees. So it's 7 out of the frequency of 36 times that, and it gives me 70 degrees. So this one is 70 degrees. This one is going to be 8 out of 36 of 360 degrees, and that is 80 degrees. This is now my degrees of my pie chart. 9 out of 36 is 90 degrees, and 12 out of 36 is 120 degrees. So again, the degrees will add up to 360 degrees. Now we have to display this in the pie chart here, in your pie chart. Now, they've given you the circle, and we have a radius, and we're going to start here. You will need your protractor. So I need my protractor, and this is how I'm going to do it. It's a little bit difficult on the board because I can't touch the board now there. So the first one was the 70 degrees. So I put the 0 of my protractor here. Now when you measure, make sure that you start at 0 because you will see there's two measurements given, 0 and 180 degrees. And I must start at the 0. So the 70 degrees will be there. So this is then 70 degrees. Then you draw. The next one is 80 degrees. Now I have to turn my